Welcome to the Pianist TV.
And yet it will have been practiced very carefully. Fingerings. Let's quickly look at fingerings. The first trill fingering we tend to do is 3 and 2. But we should be able to trill between any pair of fingers. So 3 and 1 is a lovely pair. 4 and 2. I can either do that fingered or rotary. Another very strong fingering is 1, 3, 2, 3, and I keep alternating. Do you see what happened there? I added an undulating movement of my arm, which enables me to trill for a long time without getting tired at all. Let's look at what a trill is from the mechanical point of view. It's a rapid alternation of repeated notes. What I'm going to do is to hold down one finger, one key, and play a trill. Do you hear that? I've got a repeated note. I'll do it the other way around. So in order to play a trill, I've got got to be able to manage repeated notes. Now, thanks to Sebastian Erard, who invented the double escapement, I don't have to lift the key all the way up in order to replay it. I can lift it only halfway or a fraction of the way up. Now, if I add to that a gentle undulating movement of my arm, I keep physically very free as I manage my repetitions. Do you see? Now I can do that with my other finger as well, obviously. But what I would suggest doing with a trill is to hold down one note and then just sense that escapement. Now, when I suggest holding down a note, I'm not suggesting that we rigidly hang onto the key. Notice that I need to be free to slide in with my undulation. And then the other way around. And before I know it, I've got a very comfortable trill that is fast and even. I think that's the other thing I'd like to say about trills, is to make them very even, no bumps and lumps and no getting faster and getting slower, unless we've decided it should be an unmeasured trill, in which case it will be free. To finish with, I'd just like to demonstrate some of the exercises in the article. I find these very helpful. This is Mozart's exercise. Let me just show you first, and I'll talk over the top of it a little bit. So I'm starting with 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4. You can do it as slowly or as fast as you want. There might be a good excuse to get the metronome out and actually measure that out. If you want to build up speed with trills, you can do this exercise, which is very useful. Again, a metronome can help. I'll be a human metronome. So here we go. Double, triplet, semiquavers. See what I'm doing there? Gradually increasing the note values. There are many other exercises that I could show you. I have listed them in the magazine. So I think I'll leave it there for today, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon for my next demonstration.
Как это так?
In this video, we'll take a look at how to make rolls and arpeggiated runs up the piano. I use a lot of these in my cocktail style playing at the beginning to introduce a song or at the end of a song it can be quite appropriate and effective. But actually, anywhere when I'm playing jazz or just doing general improvisation, when I want that effective and arpeggio, I'll use some of these various things. Some of them come from the classical masters. You'll recognize some of these ideas from the classical pieces, and we borrow from the masters for our playing today. You saw me playing some piano arpeggios that require two hands. We get some very interesting effects this way. Let's take a look. Here's what we do to get this effect. We'll take a major chord like a G triad, G, B, D, and we're going to make a major 7 chord out of it, which normally would be the F sharp up here, G, B, D, F sharp. But we'll take the F sharp and put it down here with the other hand. Just use a finger here, probably an index finger or a third finger. And we roll the chord. So we've got these 3 notes that are going to spin or roll. They almost sound, it sounds like a spinning effect almost, but they're just rolling in this fashion. And you want to again keep your wrists loose and try to get them going like this. And so this note hits before every roll. Create this effect. It sounds like running water or something. And I'm using the pedal. I'm using the pedal to tie it all together. You can hear it. So when the notes are still ringing. And just as before, we have the same idea with them. We bring it up here and just keep doing the same thing. And practice it just like this, going slowly. And it's beautiful slow. It doesn't need to be played fast, actually. And we do the same with the A chord. We'll take an A triad, A, C sharp, E, and put a G sharp on the bottom of it. That's the major 7. So normally it would be A, C sharp, E, G sharp up here with the little finger, but instead we put it down on the bottom with a third or index finger, either one you like. Just rolls right up. And here we get the advantage when we can start with a black note. It's the easiest way to do these kind of chords. It won't work on every chord. You can try to make it work, but sometimes a few of the chords it can put you in an inadvantageous position. If we can start on a black note, it's really the easiest. So on both a G and an A chord, a B chord, we start with a black note, and the E chord and a D chord. We just put the black note below to create a major 7, and it's easy because then I'll go back to the G here. What's happening? It's very easy to get your hand over to the next black note. So it's always on top. It's running on top where these black notes are. And same with the A. Now, if it wasn't here, if we're going to have it in a position like F, where we have F, A, C. Now, here we can do it also, but it's not quite as easy. We're looking at all white notes, and the hands have a little bit of a tendency to bump into each other as you're rising up. You can do it, but here you just have to keep this hand on top of the other one, so it's going like this, sort of arching on top. Just a little bit more difficult, and sometimes it's hard to get it clean when it's all on white notes like that. And then we have another position for it, and that's when we have a chord like E flat, which is E flat, G, B flat, and a D natural on top. But we'll put the last note goes back on the bottom. So now we're starting on a white note followed by a black note in this hand. So here, what happens now is this finger has to stay under the hand when it starts on a black note chord, on the right hand, black note chord beginning like E flat or D flat major, E flat major. So we've got to keep the hands out of each other's way so they can follow along like this and not be bumping into each other. We have a chord like E flat, which is E flat, G on the bottom. So now we're starting on a white note followed by a black note in this hand. So here, what happens now is this finger has to stay under the hand when it starts on a black note chord, on the right hand, black note chord beginning like E flat or D flat major, E flat major. So we've got to keep the hands out of each other's way so they can follow along like this and not be bumping into each other. Still can be done, but not quite as easy as this one where the black note's on top, like on our D chord, E chord, G, A, and B. So these chords go, we've got the triad in the right hand, but sometimes you can stretch up here with your right hand and play the major 7 if it's the last distance you're going to go, if you're not going to go up higher. And we can and play 4 notes here in this right hand. That's just optional. Sometimes it feels good to put that extra note up on top. Here's another interesting thing to do with this spinning cycle like this, and it sounds like kind of a WC kind of an idea. Let me take it on a C chord, so I'm going to be all white notes, and what I'm about to do here, I'm going to spin this, get the C chord going like this, and do the same thing, give it the note under, which is the B in this case, the B down here. And now I'm going to start to walk down the scale. So I'm taking scale notes in my left hand, progressively going down, or actually anywhere. I can create a melody here in my right hand, my left hand, while the right hand is continuing to stay on the C major triad, but it's always in a count of 4. This is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And again, I'm using the pedal here to kind of tie it all together. You can do it without the pedal. Then you just want to know if you're going to hit the staccato or hold it down. Now, I like to use the pedal a lot, so I use that to tie things over. Watch what I do here. I'll get it going kind of in a fast motion, and I'll just create a melody here, all in the white notes because I'm in the key of C. so you can make some creations how you want, just keeping this feeling up. It really gets to be a groove you kind of fall into with this spinning action with the hand. Sometimes I'll sit down and play these just to loosen up and enjoy the sound of the sweeping arpeggios or these harp-like Debussy effects in various keys. They're just sort of an end to themselves sometimes, for the sake of it, just to enjoy the sound and the feel of my fingers on the piano.
В прямом эфире «Вести Удмуртия». Здравствуйте. В студии Михаил Солодянкин с главной информацией к этому часу. Ижевская травматология готовится к переезду. Глава региона накануне поручил найти новое здание. Сегодня Минздрав озвучил сроки. Его не могли поймать почти десятилетие. В Казани задержали... Прибыли первые львята. Новые трамваи уже обкатывают. Делать больше. Накануне об этом заявил глава республики. Во время прямого эфира в социальных сетях он сообщил, что принято решение расширить список тех, кому в обязательном порядке будут обследовать на ковид. Это коснется всех, независимо от возраста, кто обратился за медпомощью с признаками ОРВИ. Оценивая ситуацию в целом, глава сказал, что она напряженная, но находится под контролем. Еще одно заявление коснулось предстоящих новогодних торжеств и корпоративов. В ближайшее время появится постановление, в котором изменится время работы общепита.
Решение следующее. С 11 декабря, то есть это с пятницы, мы увеличим время работы заведения общественного питания. Детали вы увидите в постановлении, которое выйдет в ближайшее время. Напомню, что сегодня у нас деятельность запрещена с 23:00 до 7 утра. Поэтому мы, конечно же, сделаем более комфортный формат работы, но о чем мы с вами, уважаемые предприниматели, говорили, конечно же, с соблюдением норм и требований Роспотребнадзора.
А еще глава сообщил, что со среды 3 декабря в Удмуртии также разрешается проведение спортивных состязаний на закрытых площадках в присутствии зрителей. Разумеется, тоже со строгим соблюдением всех санитарных норм. Роспотребнадзор, между тем, готовит свои рекомендации по проведению новогодних торжеств в условиях пандемии. Глава федерального ведомства призвала ограничить праздники в регионах со сложной эпидобстановкой. Кроме того, Анна Попова напомнила жителям страны, что во время путешествий высок риск заражения коронавирусом. В Роспотребнадзоре надеются, что соблюдение всех норм и требований позволит не ухудшить ситуацию с COVID-19.
Я не трус, меня не пускают, мир меня ну что, не пускают. Я, да, пока условия не выполнить какие-то, наверное, да. Пока не работаешь, может как-то так. А может нет, не знаю. Я себе нужен как мужик, музыкант, блин, да. Но я не знаю, мне без разницы, в принципе, я уже обучение. Мне не важно. Я вот так вот придумал, короче, потому что без разницы. Потому что почерк, что ты выбираешь, это не выбираешь. Почерк, что-то, да, где-то было. А может и выхода действительно нет. Ну а как? То есть, да, понимаешь. Все равно как-то, да. К сожалению, да. Ну, как есть то самое, да. Я про это не знал, даже никогда не думал, да. Ну, помните. Да, вот видишь, оказывается, что надо. Там какой-то вот она личная, да.
Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to try to beat my scale record. Previously my record for playing all 12 major scales, 4 octaves each, has been 1:15, a minute 15 seconds. So I'm going to see if I can beat it today, and